Hey everyone, welcome back to Skill Curve. Here at Skill Curve, we post daily videos on new cutting edge technologies. Today, we're going to be talking about Make. Make is an amazing automation platform which comes with a starter free plan, and you can actually create automations without any coding. Although I admit that the learning curve of Make can be steeper, but today we're going to be exploring all the basic interface and the major features that Make packs, as well as we're going to explore the basic terminologies and a few concepts like triggers and actions and different type of triggers. After getting the basic knowledge in, we're going to actually create 3 different scenarios, and with each scenario we're going to change the difficulty level. For the first scenario is going to be a really basic scenario, then we're going to create an intermediate scenario, and in the end we're going to create an expert scenario. And I'll make sure to explain each and every step in depth as we progress through the video. So without further chatter, let's get to work. Alright, so once you're done signing up to Make, you will see this screen. This might be overwhelming for beginners, but don't worry. I'm going to go and explain all the basic features of Make and going to give you a complete tour of Make. So let's get started. On the organization tab, you can check which plan you're using. I just created this account for the sake of this video. So the plan that I'm using is free, which means you can actually use Make for free, and they will give you 1,000 operations per month, which is quite enough. If you're a beginner, you can try it out. And later on, if you want to move on with the subscription, you can just go on the subscription tab, and here you can select your plan like Core, Pro, Teams, whatever suits you best. And the next option that we have is the team. Here you can collaborate with your team. The free plan is suitable for a single user, so bear that in mind. Next we have scenarios. As you can see, I have built a few scenarios, but in this video I'm gonna go with 3 different scenarios: a basic one, an intermediate one, and an expert one. We'll come back to this section later on in the video, but let's move to the other sections of the interface. So if you go here, you will see templates. You can actually click on these pre-built templates like this one. And now all you have to do is click on create new scenario from this template, and it will use this pre-built template, and you can just customize it and your automation will be good to go, which is one of my favorite features of Make. For beginners who don't know how to actually create complex automations, you can just go to the templates and you can view all the complex automations right in here, pre-built for you. So you can use that part. Next, we have the connections. So in the connections tab, you will see all the connections and all the apps that you have connected with the Make platform. So here you can see a bunch of apps that I've connected, but I'll show you how you can do that later on in this video. For now, let's stick to the interface. Next up, we have webhooks. Webhooks are a medium of communication. They provide continuous updates on the target that Make is actually watching. So you can connect your Make, just like in the connection tab, we saw different apps that we connected with Make. Here you can actually connect that app using webhooks. We have covered all the major sections of the interface. Let's actually get started with scenarios and try to build scenarios from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to create 3 different scenarios. In the first scenario, we're going to listen to our email. Once there is an unread email, what we're going to do, we're going to write all the data from that email to our Google Sheets. So that's the basic one. And in the intermediate one, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a form that we're going to build right now. And I'm going to teach you how you can actually build forms for free within seconds, and then after every sign up on the survey form, it will send all the data from that form to a Telegram bot as well as to a database. And I'm going to use MongoDB because they're on the cloud and they provide free tier. And the last part of this scenario would be it will send an email to the user who just filled the form. And that was the intermediate scenario. Now in the expert scenario, what we're going to do is we're going to watch our Instagram account, and once we post something, an image, a video, or an album, it's going to go and check whether the media is an album, an image, or a video. Further on, it will check again whether the media is an image or a video. The media is an image, it will send it to a Telegram bot, and the same with the video, but separately. And in the album scenario, it's going to download that album, and further it's going to check whether it's an image or a video, and it would separately send it to a Telegram bot. So I'm going to go with this scenario for the expert one. Now that we know everything about the scenarios, let's actually get started with it and start building our scenarios. To create a scenario, just click on this create a new scenario. Here you will see this plus button. You can click on this plus button and you can add any app that you want. So in the first scenario, what we're going to do, we're going to watch the email. So I'm going to set the trigger to email. And one more thing that I want to share is in the automation realm, there is a trigger and there are actions. So let's actually do it so you guys can understand well. So I'm going to go with email. So I'm going to go with the watch emails trigger. Let's click on that. So once you have this trigger, you will see something like this. Here you will have to set all the properties. And it's quite easy to add a connection. You just have to click on add. You can select the connection type. So I'm going to go with Google restricted. After that, you will have to set the name of your connection and then save. And after that, it will take you to a Google sign up page where you can actually add your credentials and connect your Gmail with Make. As you can see, I have already done that. So I'm going to choose this connection here. Next up, you will have to select the folder that you want to watch. So I'm going to go with all mails. And after that, you will have to set the criteria. So for me, it's going to be all mails because I want to watch all the mails there are. And then you can actually specify a sender's email address that you want to watch. But for me, I want all the emails, so I won't specify any sender's email address or recipient's email address. Using these filters, you can actually filter out the mails and just get the specific mails that you want. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to just leave them as it is. You can play with these options later on. And the subject and phrase input box are similar to the recipient's email and sender's email address. You can actually leave them blank. This way, there will be no filter and all the mails would be scrapped. If you want to filter them using these input boxes, that's up to you. After that, it asks if we want to mark the messages as read. So I don't want that, so I'll leave it at no. And then it will ask us how much mails do you want. So I'm going to go with 5 emails. And let's just click on OK. After you're done doing that, it will ask you to choose when to start. So I'm going to go with from now on. So from now on, it's going to watch all the emails to my email address. So let's click on OK. Now, once you're done setting up your email, what we want is the Google Sheet. And I've created a Google Sheet already. Here, as you can see, I have the time, the content, subject, sender, and the email address of the sender. So I'm going to go and scrap all the data and put it in here. So let's go and do that. So here I'm going to go and select Google Sheets. Now we already have a trigger. We want an action. So I'm going to go and choose add a row because we want to append a row once this trigger happens. So let's go and connect it like that. Now we have to configure the settings for the Google Sheets. For the connection, you will do the similar thing that you did with the email. Mine is already configured, so I'm going to go and use that. Then you have to choose a method. So I'm going to go with select by path. Then you have to choose a drive, a Google Drive. So I'm going to go with my drive. And then you have to specify the spreadsheet ID. So if you click on that, you will see all the spreadsheets that you have on your Google Drive. So I just created this Make demo spreadsheet that I just showed you. So I'm going to go and choose that. Next, it's going to ask us the sheet name. So I'm going to go with sheet 1. And here comes the fun part. Now you can actually enter all the details that you get from the email into different columns that I just created, just like this. I'm going to go with the time, content, subject, sender, and the email address of the sender. So I'm going to put the information respectively in these columns. So let's go and actually do that. So in the time column, what I want is the date at which it was sent. Then in the content column, I want the actual content. So let's go with that and choose the text content from here. And in the subject, I want the subject of the email. So let's choose that. And in the sender section, I want the sender's name. And in the email section, I want the sender's email address. I just want these 5. You can actually go and specify all of the information that you want. So I'm just going to go with these 5. That's enough for the demonstration purposes of this video. Let's go down and you will see this option unformatted. So I'm going to go with no, I don't want it unformatted. And let's just click on OK. And with that, your automation is ready to go. And one more thing that I wanted to mention is that, as you can see, there is a clock right here. So this is a pooling type trigger. So the pooling type triggers are actually triggers which watch the target at a regular interval, not actually on real time, but after every 15 minutes, that's the default value. And you can actually toggle this value and it's going to check on regular intervals. You can actually go with once, every day, days of the week, and much more. And for now, I would recommend that you should leave it as it is. There are 2 types of triggers and I will be using the other type of trigger as well. So I'll make sure to mention that and explain that as well. So let's go and now try to run this automation. So let's click on run once. So as you can see, the scenario run was completed. And if you click on this one here, you will see all the bundles that is scrapped from my email address. Then it put them into my Google Sheets, just like that. Now let's go and check the results on our Google Sheet. So if you go there, as you can see, the date and time is here. The content is here from my Gmail. And the subject is get the official Gmail app. Then the sender is the Gmail team. And their email is here. I know the formatting is not the best right now, but you get all the data and that's the point. So that was our very first basic automation that we did. Now let's move to our second automation and let's try something known as router. Now this time we're going to watch on a fill out form. So let's go and add fill out here. So I'm going to go with fill out form. And if you notice something, it comes with an instant. This means that it's going to be a webhook type trigger. So let's click on that. Remember the last time we had a trigger, it had a clock here. So that was the polling type trigger. This one is a webhook type trigger. What this would do, it would automatically send the data to make every time there is a change in the form. So let's actually go and create a webhook. And so to do that, you will just have to name the webhook, and you can name it whatever you want to. Then you will have to configure a connection. Mine is already done, but I want to show you what actually fill out form is. So if you go to their website and sign up for free, you can explore different templates and you can build something like this. So here you can actually edit this form. It's just like WordPress or Wix for website building. You can actually build your forms here. And this one I built within a minute from a template. After you're done building your form, right in here, you can go to their integrations. And if you scroll down, you will see that they have the Make integration. You can actually connect your fill out form with your Make app, and this is as simple as it gets. So once you're done with the connection, you will see a connection just like this one, and after that you will just have to select the form that you want to watch on. So I'm gonna go with the newsletter sign up form that I just created, and after that click on save and the trigger is set. Now once you're done with the trigger, now what we need to do is we need to set up a router, because we're going to go and do 3 actions simultaneously. So I'm gonna go with tools and I'm gonna choose this router here. Let's connect that this way, and after you're connected with the router, what we can do, we can actually choose another app, which is the Telegram bot. So I'm gonna go with Telegram bot here. Telegram bot offers different actions in the messages. You can send media and much more. But what we're going to do is we're going to send a message, a text message. So let's click on that, and that way you can just connect it to the router, just like that. After that, you will have to configure the settings of your bot. And don't worry, I'm actually going to teach you how you can connect with the Telegram. So let's go to the Telegram and I'll show you how you can actually create your new bot and fill out all the information right in here. So let's go to Telegram. So here on Telegram, you will have to search for bot father, just right here, and you can start a conversation with it. I was testing these scenarios and I created all my bots already. So I'm going to go and show you how you can actually do that. So once you come into this chat bot, it offers you this option which says create a new bot. Once you click on that, it's going to ask you the name of the bot that you want. So I name my bot as the phone bot, and then it's going to ask you the username of the bot. So you can do that to create your very own new bot. Another thing that I want to share is this get my ID. In this bot, you just have to say start. It will give you your user ID and your chat ID. And that is how simple it is to actually create your very own bot. Now that you know how you can create your very own bot, let's go to Make and actually try to connect our Telegram bot with Make. So let's go there. So here you can see that my phone bot is already connected. I had a couple of bots that I connected. So I'm going to go with the phone bot. After that, you will have to specify the chat ID. And I told you where you can get it from the get chat ID bot. So my chat ID would be something like this. After that, you will have to enter the text message that you want to send. And one more thing, you can choose multiple options right in here. So I'm going to go with all of these, just like that. So once you are done selecting that, you can actually go and give a message thread ID. So I'm going to go with the submission ID as the message thread ID. And you can select the parse mode to markdown. That's what I like. And I don't want to disable notification. I'm going to go and leave it as empty. And the same with the disable link previews. After that, once you're done with that, click on OK. What next we want to connect our router with a database. So I'm going to go with MongoDB. And as you can see, I have a database already created here. I'm going to go with MongoDB. So if you go with Mongo, here you have different options. So I'm going to go with insert a document because I want to insert data into my database. And let's connect it with a router. Now for the connection, what you need is you have to go and connect your MongoDB with it. And for the connection, let me show you how you can do it. So if you go to your MongoDB, you will see this connect option here. Once you click on that, you will have to go to the drivers and here just change this version to 4.1 or later. After you're done doing that, just copy this connection string and replace this password part with your actual password for the user of your MongoDB. So once you do that, you can actually connect your MongoDB with your Make app. So my connection is already done and I'm going to choose that connection, and later on it's going to ask me which collection I actually want to enter data into. So I'm going to create a new collection that is testing. After that, it would ask us if we want to create a new data structure. So here you can actually specify the data structure. So let's go and add a data structure, which is really easy. I'm going to name it fill out forms. And after that, you will have to add items. And to send this data structure, what you need to go and look at the structure of the information you're actually getting. So we're getting an SMS reminder, which is going to be a text. Then we're getting answers to two checkboxes, which are going to be Boolean. And then we're getting the phone number and the email address. So let's actually go and build our data structure now. So here, the first one is going to be if I want an SMS reminder or not. So it's going to be SMS, and I'm going to go with text. And I don't want to set any default value for right now. And I'm going to leave it as not required and not multi-line. And the next item, so it's going to be the checkbox 1. And it's going to be a Boolean. So I'm going to go with Boolean. And I'm going to add another check here, check 2. And again, it's going to be a Boolean. Then I need the phone number. So I'm going to go with phone. And it's going to be a number. And last but not the least, I want the email address. So I'm going to go with email. And I will leave that as a text. And with that said, our data structure is now ready. Let's click on save, and we have our fill out forms data structure now. And with that said, now you can actually add the values that are coming from the form into your database. So let's click on SMS, and I want the answer to this SMS reminder question here. So let's add it here. Next, I want the checkbox 1, then the checkbox 2. After that, I want the phone number and the email address. And that's all. Now all the data coming from the form is going to go into your database. So let's click on OK. Now the last module that we want to add in the router is the email module. What we're going to do is we're going to set up our email. Once there is a change in the form, it's going to go and send an email to the user. I'll tell them how amazing they are and thank you for signing to our newsletter. So let's go and do that. So I'm going to choose email, and I'm going to choose the action send a mail, and let's go here. Connected this way. Now we have to connect our email again. So let's go with the connection we built in the previous scenario. And I'm going to go down, and here in the subject, what I want is thank you for signing up with us. Then I'm going to go with the content type. So I want it plain text this time. So I'm going to go with the content, and I'm going to say something like, you are amazing. And that's it. You can further enhance your emails, add HTML to it. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to go and keep it as simple as possible. And there is another option. You can actually add attachments, but we'll keep it as simple as possible. So once you're done doing that, just click on OK. Oops, I forgot one field. Here you will have to add the recipient who will actually receive the email. So I'm going to go and add the email address from the form. So this way, every time someone makes changes in the form, it will send an email to that person who actually did that. So with that said, let's click on OK. Now our automation is completed. Let's actually go and test it out. And I have the form open right in here. So I'm going to go and quickly fill this out. So here is some dummy data, but I kept the email real because we want to test out whether it sends an email or not. After that, let's just click on complete sign up. And once you do that, you can see that my Telegram bot has already received that information right in here. The first answer that we want the message updates, then the Boolean answers, after that the phone number and the email address. Here on the database, you can see in the testing data structure that we created, we have the email address, the SMS, the phone, the check number 1 and the check number 2 and the object ID. So our database connection is successful. Now actually go to our Gmail and check whether we send that email or not. So here on the sender's email address, you can see that in the sent folder, we have this email with the subject, thank you for signing up with us, and the content, you're amazing. And if we go to the recipient's inbox, you will see that we have the email here as well, you're amazing. All the components of our scenario are working completely fine. You can see the form data right in here. You can see that the data we sent to the Telegram bot. You can see the data we sent to our database and the data we sent to our email. So that's how you can actually build this intermediate level automation and automate all of these things without any coding skills. Now that our second scenario is done, let's go and move to the final scenario that we're going to build. So let's go and do that. So for this scenario, we're going to go and add an Instagram trigger. And here the trigger that we want is the watch media trigger. So I'm going to go and do that. Once you add the Instagram trigger, you will have to connect to your Instagram, which is really easy. You just have to log into your Instagram and it will connect it with the Make app. Then you can specify the limit that you want with every execution cycle. So I'm going to go with 2 posts. And once you're done, let's go and add a router because we want to specify whether it's going to be an image or a video or a carousel album. So let's go and add a router. Now we will have to add 2 different Instagram modules. So to do that, let's just click on this plus here. And in this plus, I'm going to add the Instagram. I want to download the media that is coming through this Instagram module here. So let's click on download media. So I'm going to go and attach the media ID and that's it. You just have to click OK. And in the other module, I'm going to add again an Instagram. But this time I want to get the album data because we want to check if the media that is coming through our Instagram trigger is whether an image or video or an album. This time I'm going to go with an album media. And similarly, I'll be attaching the media ID here. You can actually set filters here. So I'm going to go and set the label to if image or media. Then I'm going to go and attach the condition. So I want the media type to be equals to image. And we're going to add the OR rule. And I want the media type to be a video. If the media is one of these types, then it will move to this module here. And for the album type, we're going to set another filter. And in the condition, I want the media type to be a carousel album. After you're done with these 2 modules, so I'm going to go and download the media of this album. So I'm going to go and click on plus. And I want another Instagram here. But this time, I'm going to choose the download media. And this time, I'm going to set the media ID from the get album media. And once you do that, just click on OK. Now that we have downloaded the media, what we can do is we can create another router here. So I'm going to go and add another router and connect it like this. So now I'm going to add 2 more modules to our router. One will be the Telegram bot for image and the other one will be a Telegram bot for the video. So I'm going to go and add Telegram bot here and I'm going to send a photo. After that, I'm going to set up the bot that I want. So I've already created a telebot for this one. You can actually create a new bot for this. And we have discussed how you can actually create a new bot, which is pretty much easy. So I'll just keep the pace of the video. And here I'll be pasting in the chat ID. And in the message thread, I actually want the media ID. And in the caption, I want the caption from the media that we're getting. And for this option, I'm going to go with data. You can actually go with the file ID or the HTTP URL. So I'm going to go with the data and Instagram download media. You can select the parse mode, you can leave it empty, but I'm going to go with markdown. And just like that, your Telegram bot is now set up. Now you're going to go and actually do the same with the other Telegram bot, but this time you actually want to send a video and the rest is similar. So I'm going to go and quickly do that. Alright, so once you're done setting up your Telegram bots, what you can do is you can set filters here. So I'm going to go and add a filter here to see if the media coming through is an image. So I'm going to go with if image and I want the media type to be an image. And that's it. The same for the other bot, but this time it will be if a video. And with that, this branch of your automation is now complete. Now we can actually go and move on with the other branch that we created. For that, we will have to add another router. So I'm going to go and do that. And let's connect it. After that, we are going to do the same thing we did right here to send an image and a video. So I'm going to go and quickly do that. Once we're done setting up our boards, we can add filters to it. And with that, our automation is now complete. If you zoom in, you can see we have the filters here. If it's going to be an image or a media, it's going to go this way. If it's an album, it's going to go this way. And here it will download that media and then it will send it separately as an image or a video. The same happening here. It's going to download the media, it's going to send it as an image or a video. So now that all is set, let's actually go and test it out. So if I click on run once, let's go and check it out. So here you can see I've received the notification from my Telegram. So if I click on this, you can see the media is coming through. I get the photo and the caption right in here. The same will happen for your videos and albums as well. So that was our expert level automation, where we actually went through and created this nested structure. With this, you can actually send your post directly to your Telegram bot or any other Telegram channel or group. And if you zoom in, you can see it's receiving two bundles, bundle 1 and bundle 2 with all the information. Then it's checking if it's an image or a video, then it's downloading those bundles right here. Then it's checking if it's an image or a video. So for my case, it was images. So it's gonna go and add those images to our Telegram bot just like that. And that's how you can actually create automations without any coding and just in a few minutes. And that wraps up our video. Today, we learned the basic of Make, formerly Integromat. We went through the interface of Make, understanding the basic sections of the interface, as well as the basic features and how Make works. We went through triggers and actions and different type of triggers as well. And after getting to know the basic information, we went head on and created 3 different automations of different level of difficulty. First, we went with the basic one, then intermediate one, and finally the expert one. I hope this video was helpful. If you found this insightful, hit that like button, share thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Skill Curve for more content on cutting edge technologies. Ring that notification bell to never miss out on our daily updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video where we continue to curb your skills with the latest tech. Stay curious and keep exploring.